While the world's attention was locked onto headlines about the Middle East, stock market volatility, and political theater, a far more consequential event unfolded quietly, without press conferences, without official announcements, and without a single tweet from Western leaders. Late last night, deep inside the Kremlin's financial infrastructure, a silent signal was sent. Intelligence sources indicate a massive, coordinated movement of physical assets into the Russian Federation. This was not a digital transaction. It did not pass through Western clearinghouses. It did not touch SWIFT. And it was not gold. This time, the metal was silver. According to multiple reports, state-owned Russian banks executed a series of off-market acquisitions, quietly absorbing an estimated 5,000 tons of industrial and monetary silver. Not over months, not spread across years, but in a compressed time frame designed to avoid detection and prevent price discovery. This was not a trade. This was a strategic accumulation. And it signals that Vladimir Putin understands something the West is refusing to acknowledge. In a prolonged geopolitical conflict, silver is more valuable than oil. Oil fuels economies. Silver controls technology, weapons, and power. And once physical silver leaves Western vaults, it doesn't come back. To understand why this move matters, you first need to understand Gokran, Russia's state fund for precious metals and gems. For decades, Gokran quietly accumulated gold. That strategy was deliberate. Gold insulated Russia from dollar exposure, sanctions, and monetary instability. But now, something has changed. The mandate has shifted. Russia is no longer just hoarding gold. They are aggressively buying silver. Why? Because silver is the Achilles heel of the Western military-industrial complex. Every modern weapon system relies on silver. Cruise missiles, fighter jets, satellites, radar systems, guidance chips, secure communications, solar-powered infrastructure, advanced batteries. Remove silver, and the West cannot manufacture advanced weaponry at scale. By absorbing 5,000 tons of physical silver, Russia has effectively fired a warning shot across the bow of the U.S. defense industry without launching a single missile. This move did not happen in isolation. The United States weaponized the dollar against Russia. Foreign reserves were frozen. SWIFT access was cut. Dollar-based trade channels were severed. Russia's response was not emotional. It was structural. You cannot sanction a physical bar of silver sitting in a Moscow vault. You cannot freeze it. You cannot track it. You cannot reverse the transaction. Russia is deliberately moving its national wealth out of the digital ledger, where the U.S. exerts control, and into the physical world, where possession is law. Oil and gas are now exchanged with friendly nations, India, China, Iran, directly for hard assets. Gold, silver, commodities, no dollars, no banks, no permission. Sanctions did not stop Russia. They forced Russia to return to honest money. Let's put 5,000 tons of silver into perspective. That equals roughly 160 million ounces. That represents nearly 20% of the entire annual global mining supply. When that much metal disappears from the market in a short period of time, it creates a vacuum. And that vacuum already existed. COMEX and LBMA vaults were critically depleted before this move. This Russian accumulation likely erased whatever eligible inventory remained. The global silver market is now operating in a structural deficit. The West is playing musical chairs, and Russia just removed 20% of the chairs. When the music stops, the repricing will not be gradual. It will be violent. Russia has formally transitioned into a full war economy. In a war economy, paper assets become liabilities, stocks and bonds lose relevance, commodities become power energy, food, metals. Russia is already self-sufficient in energy and food. Silver completes the triad. They are preparing for a prolonged economic siege, one where the global fiat system fractures under debt, inflation, and political instability. While American investors speculate on Nvidia and Bitcoin, Russian planners are accumulating the periodic table. The West is betting on valuation multiples. Russia is betting on reality. This strategy is not unilateral. It is coordinated with Beijing. China drains gold. Russia drains silver. Together, the BRICS alliance is systematically stripping the West of its hard assets. Western nations are selling gold and silver to suppress prices and maintain the illusion of dollar strength. Meanwhile, rival powers are acquiring those assets at historic discounts. We are liquidating family heirlooms to fund consumption. They are acquiring strategic wealth for pennies on the dollar. This is the largest transfer of real assets in modern history. Europe will feel the pain first. European industry relies heavily on imported silver, especially for green energy initiatives. Solar panels, EV infrastructure, battery systems. With Russia hoarding supply and China consuming its own production, Europe is effectively cut off. German solar manufacturers, French electronics firms, Northern European energy projects, all face supply shocks. The energy crisis was the first blow. The resource crisis is the second. Silver has become a geopolitical weapon. The irony is painful. Western bullion banks suppressed silver prices for decades, holding it artificially low. That manipulation allowed Russia to accumulate a strategic stockpile at a massive discount. If silver had traded at its true market value, Russia could never have afforded 5,000 tons. We subsidized our own encirclement. The low price was a gift to our adversaries. Where is the intelligence community? They see the metal moving. They know what is happening, but they cannot stop it. These trades are happening outside SWIFT, outside dollar settlement, often through barter, dark fleets, and sovereign-to-sovereign agreements. The West no longer controls the choke points. Visibility is gone. Every ton of silver Russia acquires is a vote of no confidence in the US dollar. Treasuries are being dumped. Metal is being accumulated. As more nations follow, dollar demand collapses, and those dollars flood back home. That is how hyperinflation begins. Russia is the world's fourth largest silver producer. Instead of exporting that silver to suppress prices, the government is now purchasing production directly from domestic miners. London's supply is drying up. Moscow vaults are filling. This supply shock has not yet been priced into the market, but when it is, the move will be historic. Russia is laying the foundation for a commodity-backed ruble. Oil, gas, gold, silver. While the dollar is backed by debt and faith, the ruble is becoming backed by resources. In a world defined by scarcity, resource-backed currencies win. Russia is building a fortress balance sheet. The West is printing its way into irrelevance. Bullion banks in London and New York are terrified. They are massively short silver. They sold paper contracts that cannot be delivered. With Russia hoarding physical supply, those shorts are trapped. This raises the probability of a force majeure event, where contracts default because the metal simply does not exist. If a nuclear-armed superpower is panic-buying silver, that is not noise. That is a signal. Russia is not buying crypto, not buying NFTs, not buying tech stocks. They are buying physical metal, assets with no counterparty risk, assets immune to cyber attacks, assets that function when the grid goes down. Russia understands that the next phase of hybrid warfare targets financial infrastructure. When digital systems fail, digital wealth disappears. Silver does not. The movement of 5,000 tons is a warning. There is not much silver left to buy. Once sovereign accumulation ends, the door closes for retail investors. We are in the final innings of accumulation. Silver is about to be repriced, not as an industrial input, but as a strategic war asset. An economic iron curtain has descended. On one side, debt printing, financial engineering. On the other, mining energy hard assets. The world is splitting in two. You must decide which side you are on. This is not just about Russia. It is about survival in a system that is breaking. The safe havens of the last 40 years, bonds and dollars, are becoming danger zones. The former danger zones, commodities and precious metals, are becoming safe havens. The script has flipped. Adapt, or be crushed by it. Do not wait for mainstream media to confirm the move. By the time silver hits CNN headlines, the price will already be triple digits. The bear has made its move. 5,000 tons are gone. The West is hollow, the East is full, and in the end, physics always wins.